häst. Hello, I'm sorry to report that I forgot to do a wee before I started this, so I'm going to be holding it for the next 45 minutes. Delightful to see that some beautiful familiar faces are already logged in. We are week 19 of Netherworld Twitch trivia, which is crazy. Sadly, because the venue is open above me, I can't play Spotify anymore because I'm sharing the Spotify account with the venue. We all remember the Strawberry Kisses fiasco from last week. However, I want you all to know that if I was allowed to play anything on Spotify, it would be Folklore on repeat for 2 hours because it's so excellent, and I just won't stand for any disagreeing opinions. Who have we got? Dello Felagates, Dazed and Confused. We've got Vin Diesel's Electric Mayhem. I'd say we had Capybara, but I think that's a separate conversation. We have the Lemon Stealing Whores and Beyonce Knowles. Team Fourth Place. Possibly some more further up. If you haven't seen it on the chat, the wonderful, perfect, I would go so far as to say, Shani is moderating this evening on the Netherworld account. So you've got two mums tonight, which, as we know, is the best possible outcome. Toss a Coin to Your Plague Doctor is also hooking in, so is Hidden Ham and Pop Cultus. All my faves. I'm just having a Raven's Oatmeal Stout to find some energy. It's been a tiring week. Anybody else drinking? It's August. Dry July is over. Not that some of us may have followed that strictly. Oh yeah, 69 views. Woo! Is anyone new? I mean, I doubt that anyone is new because we've been doing this a while now. However, we might have an influx of new players if we go into lockdown again. We'll see how we go. I'm going to move us on to our rules for this evening. Not that there are that many. No Googling. Phonetically, it still counts. No answers in the chitty chat, as you know, and Shani will be holding you hostage in the, in the temporarily banned cage if you do your answers in the chat. The other thing you need to know is that you have to mark your own sheets, and I would like you to submit them at the end in the Google form that I've linked in the panels below. What else? Comics. Of course, there are no prizes for Netherworld Twitch Trivia other than a few pins that you can win. But there is a $30 venue voucher for the best comic competition. Comic entry, which you'll see last week's winner pictured. I love this one. It was like a very clever Monsters Inc. Pun. Well done to Brooke, who won that one. We sent her a $30 Netherworld voucher. So everyone needs to participate. Last week we only had 4 comic entries, and that's fine. but you're just at home. I don't know why you have any excuse not to enter. No, it's not compulsory. It's just if you want to win vouchers. I'm just going to swing into the chat in case I've missed anything and you're saying I can't hear you or whatever. You know that they say if your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums. That's true. Okay. Let's move on. Round 1. Speaking of folklore, Taylor Swift's excellent new album. Let's kick it off with a folklore question. As I said, there are winners to Twitch Trivia. You win glory and your name at the top of a leaderboard. However, the games and the comic is where the true dosh is. Here we go. Question 1. Taylor Swift released Folklore last week, as I've already mentioned. Which 2 fictional characters are referenced in one of the key songs, Cardigan? I will give you 1 point per character. Thank you for letting me know my volume is good. Something went wrong with our audio check tonight, so I couldn't test anything. Truly, if you're not a Swiftie, do listen to this album. It is great and is definitely a gateway album to Taylor Swift. Well, actually, no, it's quite different from her other stuff, so maybe it's not a gateway album, but it's just heartbreaking. Nice. Good to see we've got some T-Swizzle fans, and good to see that our view count isn't going down since me referencing it so much. Alright. Who knows it? Don't write it in the chat, obviously. Just let me know if I need to give you a hint. I realise that it hasn't been out very long for this song to be super known, but I also know that true Swifties will have listened to the album about 6 times already. So I'm assuming someone on your group knows it. I might move us on in the meantime. Questionable cosplay, as is our way. What character is this cosplayer trying to recreate? As always, a character name, please. I will give you a half point if you can get the universe that the character is from, but you can't remember their name. Oh, nice. Looks like Hidden Ham has got the T-Swift question. Glad someone's in there. Alrighty. Everyone's like, we got this, it's easy, so I might move us on to question 3. What famous hike did Reese Witherspoon's character go on in the film Wild? A little bit of world knowledge required for this one, if you haven't seen the actual film. Oh, hi Scott. Everyone welcome Scott, who always gets a nice warm welcome because he has to get up at 5:30 a.m. in Canada to play, and quite frankly, let's cheers to Scott for doing that. I haven't got up before 9 a.m. in the last 20 weeks of quarantine. So I appreciate you. Anyone know this? Excuse me. Anyone remember this? Anyone know anything about this hike, this trail? Let me know, because I'll only give you a hint if less than 2 teams know it. Happiness is a warm gun has got it. I've been forgetting the last few weeks to bring up the comic themes early. So let's just lay that in now. What has happened this week that is worthy of a comic theme? I did promise to choose one specific topic this week because I've been a little bit all over the place in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, we've got some Queensland cases if we're talking COVID news. Tell me your other ideas. Oh, sorry, Scott. I always oversell or undersell this. It's actually 4:30 in Canada. I'm so sorry. Another cheers to Scott. To Scott. Okay. Yeah, let me know what ideas you have for comics this week. I want to try and choose a specific one. Ooh, goodness, guys, just reminded me that we're doing poetry this week. I'll always do the comic. I will just add poetry. So this week you can choose to do a poem instead of a comic, or both. But I'll give a pin to the best poem, but I'll still give the money to the best comic, I think. 2 prizes. That's an extra prize. Okay, comic idea, excuse me. Elon Musk cage fighting Johnny Depp. That is, has a lot of potential for visuals, which I like. Trump's COVID doctor saying, makes you sick, or whatever she said. Yes, good. Trump tends to be not something we do much, not something we choose much for comics, just because I'm a firm believer in not giving him a platform, because even bad press is good press. The Melbourne Karens, that's a good one. We're early days, so I'll move us on to the next question, but we can keep thinking of comics, keep sending them comic ideas, and I'll pick one eventually. Question 4, 4 points. Our first big one. Identify the 4 films from their shots before CGI was added. So before the digital effects were added. Tell me the films based on these shots. All right, theme, Melbourne teens bringing COVID back to Queensland. How stupid a pair of 19-year-old Victorians can be. Comic idea, Bunning Karens. Ooh, I like Bunning Karens, and I do like, obviously the Queensland COVID situation is quite topical. I feel like it's going to be a COVID week with themes. Speaking of, did anyone get back to the cinema in that small gap that we had in Queensland before that didn't seem like a good idea anymore? I didn't go back, but maybe I missed my opportunity. Ooh, good. Gary thinks that they have all 4. Very nice. Won't be giving a hint for this one then. Nothing was showing in the cinema. That's true. I think it was all films from March that got shut down. Nichols did say he saw Jumanji 2 though, and enjoyed it. Or he enjoyed the first one. I can't remember the anecdote. Sorry, Ben. Wow, Okie Doka works at a cinema every day. What cinema do you work at, Okie Doka? Tell us about your life. Just revving up. We're just revving up our energy tonight. Let's just push it. Let's just push the energy up. Moving on, if we're ready. Let me know if you want more time on question 4. I have a video question coming up for you. All right, sweet. A few teams have 4 out of 4, or so they reckon. So I might kick us off with our first AV question. A little new feature we like to call TikTok impressions. I would like you to watch this mashup of 4 impressions from TikTok personalities and identify the celebrities or characters, it could be one or the other, that are being impersonated. So here we go. I'll play it a couple times.
Everybody needs to, self-quarantine. Stay away from your family, but be together with them during this crisis. And, we're going to pull through, and you're going to be great. Amazing.
That's so sort of crazy to me and like surreal that I'm actually joining TikTok. Like I've heard just like so many great things about it, and like I'm just like sort of like super excited to really sort of like get my feet wet and sort of like just like share more of myself with you guys. But I just want to say like this is going to be such a really cool, profoundly awesome experience, because I think as an actor you have.
Listen, coronavirus, I'm not worried about corona. What I'm worried about is the mortgage.
All right, it's coming again. I'm going to play it one more time. Well, probably twice more.
Everybody needs to, self-quarantine. Stay away from your family, but be together with them during this crisis. And, we're going to pull through, and you're going to be great. Amazing.
That's so sort of crazy to me and like surreal that I'm actually joining TikTok. Like I've heard just like so many great things about it, and like I'm just like sort of like super excited to really sort of like get my feet wet and sort of like just like share more of myself with you guys. But I just want to say like this is going to be such a really cool, profoundly awesome experience, because I think as an actor you have.
Listen, coronavirus, I'm not worried about corona. What I'm worried about is the mortgage.
Okay. Shall we play it one more time? Or are we good? Shani hates TikTok. Any chance of a beep or something between clips for these things in the future? I hear what you're saying, but I actually quite like that it makes it more challenging that you have to disseminate when something starts and when something finishes. But perhaps everybody else thinks that's possibly cruel. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again. Don't worry.
Everybody needs to, self-quarantine. Stay away from your family, but be together with them during this crisis. And, we're going to pull through, and you're going to be great. Amazing.
That's so sort of crazy to me and like surreal that I'm actually joining TikTok. Like I've heard just like so many great things about it, and like I'm just like sort of like super excited to really sort of like get my feet wet and sort of like just like share more of myself with you guys. But I just want to say like this is going to be such a really cool, profoundly awesome experience, because I think as an actor you have.
Listen, coronavirus, I'm not worried about corona. What I'm worried about is the mortgage.
Okay. I will play it one more time if anyone wants it, because you know what, I think we all need a little love and support today, and I'm willing to provide that with a replay. But you have until I finish counting these seconds to tell me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I am going to play it one more time because I think one team were like, we have no idea. So here it comes. Last time.
Everybody needs to, self-quarantine. Stay away from your family, but be together with them during this crisis. And, we're going to pull through, and you're going to be great. Amazing.
That's so sort of crazy to me and like surreal that I'm actually joining TikTok. Like I've heard just like so many great things about it, and like I'm just like sort of like super excited to really sort of like get my feet wet and sort of like just like share more of myself with you guys. But I just want to say like this is going to be such a really cool, profoundly awesome experience, because I think as an actor you have.
Listen, coronavirus, I'm not worried about corona. What I'm worried about is the mortgage.
Okay. Moving on. Question 6. In Warhammer 40,000, who allegedly began the Gothic War? Was it A, Nightbringer, B, Abaddon the Despoiler, C, Elrad Ulthion, or D, the Deceiver? I offer sound effects now because I can't play music in the background. A, B, C, or D? Take a choice, take a chance. We're going to move on to question 7, which you all know means the subjective 7. Now, tonight's subjective 7, I feel like is less controversial than we've been recently. But I also feel fairly strongly about the answer. So I hope we do well. Good luck. Name the most iconic cat in cinema history. There is a right answer, as always. Now, just to clarify straight out of the gate, I do want a live action character. It's not an animated cat. I want a live action real cat from cinema history. I think for a comic theme, we will do one of 2 options. Even though I said I'd only give you 1 option, 2 options is still better than 5 options. So I really liked what someone said about the Bunnings Karens. That was great. That's one theme. And the COVID coming back into Queensland. That's our second theme. You can choose between those 2. COVID Queensland or Bunnings Karens. And just by extension, Karens. Remember, you have to include a monster in your comics, but you have until the end of the night to submit them to me, and you just ship them in a message through Instagram, because that's the easiest. And that's all we'll do for that. What was question 6? We lost bloody reception. Oh, that's a shame. No, it wasn't a Taylor Swift question, although I should have done that. I'll just flick back for that team, because you do kind of need to read it. A, B, C, or D. It's the Warhammer question for question 6. Take a quick screenshot, anonymous in Oz, and then I'm moving back to question subjective 7. What is the most iconic cat in cinema history? And again, I am talking about a live action cat. Garfield, obviously. If only Garfield was a live action cat, and the CGI version of Garfield in the movie doesn't count. Mind you, probably some of the live action cats in the films, no, they're all real cats, I think. No one makes animatronic cats in movies. They just have cat trainers. Alright, Brit's confident, very nice. Always confident. Or confidently unconfident, that team, which I appreciate. Lock something in. I'm moving on. Question 8. What is it? I can't remember. Ooh, which historical conflict is the backdrop to the TV show The Americans? I've tried to choose a photo that is relatively opaque in terms of clues. Oh, dearie me. I haven't actually seen The Americans, but everyone does say it is tremendous. Any fans playing? I mean, I know there's at least one fan playing, because as most of these, this theme was requested. But is it widely beloved? Do tell me. Nice. Team Culture Vultures has got it. So has Vinning D. We love to see. All right, moving on. Question 9. Oh, we had a request for a return feature from many weeks ago. It's a this or that. It's worth 5 points. Go through the list and tell me whether These words are World of Warcraft characters or IKEA product names. We've got Onyxia, Rel, Leva, Mediv, and Brims, which is exactly how they are pronounced. All of them, it could be 50-50 split, it could be, well, I think this list is impossible to be 50-50, but it could be split, it could be all of one. As you know the drill with this or that. Go through them, have a think, tell me which is IKEA, which is World of Warcraft. I will give you 5 goddamn points if you can get them all. I know it took 19 weeks to prove to you all that I could do some math, rudimentary though it was. No, Sexy Goldblum, I didn't day drink today. I'm just so tired, so I'm coming across as drunk. How are we going? Anyone got 5 out of 5? Oh, nice. We do have a 5 out of 5. We got a few 5s out of 5s. Oh, yay. The WoW fans are coming out of the woodworks. We love to see this. Let's move on to question 10. It's a true or false. True or false? In Mass Effect, both female and male shepherds can have a romantic, because it's extra romantic, relationship with Liara Sony, which is also probably correct as a pronunciation. Is that true or false? Double the romance, double the fun. True or false? Just 2 options. Never in life do you get 2 options. That's a lot of fun. It's relaxing for your brain. Don't cause you no pain. It's a true or false. Question 11. I'm apologizing to the team that has been requesting David Tennant for about 10 weeks. I have ignored it until now, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. But you've got a 3-pointer on your hands now to the D Tennant fan. He is arguably the king of TV. He's been in like 2 movies and 5,000 TV shows, and he does all of them so well. I want you to identify each TV show from the David Tennant. Shani, I will release an album if you agree to co-write it with me and do any instruments. ABC, not D. There's no D, sadly. ABC, tell me the TV shows from the David Tennants. I'm sorry, I know I left off a lot of classics, but he honestly has too many. He has too many good ones. It's hard to choose. Ooh, I'm glad to see that Subjective 7 has challenged at least one team. They are basically designed to spark debate and bring us closest with our loved ones. The goat doctor. Don't forget, I said the comic themes before were our Bunnings Karens, or Karens by extension, and the COVID coming back into Queensland. However, as per what I said at the start of tonight, we are also allowing poems tonight, and you can enter the comic and the poem competition. I'm gonna make our extra pin go to the poem. So, I know there are many fabulous wordsmiths in this cohort. I would like to see your poems as well as your comics. Just a reminder. Let's move on to question 12. Oh, finally, the terrace house question, which I've been promising for 2 weeks. I have tried to help you out if you don't know anything about terrace house, because I realize it's a little bit niche. So I've given you a picture. So if you can speak or read Japanese, you will be helped. In Terrace House, Boys and Girls in the City, what did Minori write with Sriracha on Uchi's omu rice for when he came back from work? Was it A, let's date, B, you are the worst, C, idiot, or D, coward? So for context, if no one's ever heard of Terrace House, it's basically a Japanese Big Brother, but better, and the people who live in the house can leave the house. They just live in a house and live their life. And then like super snarky judges watch them live in the house and make funny commentary. It's amazing. No hints on this one. I'm so proud of that I know it. Oh, I won't give any hints. I won't give any hints at all. Sorry if you don't know Terrace House, but I've made it multiple choice. And honestly, as we go into inevitable lockdown 2, although yes, let's think positively, Terrace House would be a great way to spend it. It's on Netflix. Moving on, question 13. Which of these celebrities did not have a cameo in Charlie XCX music video for Boys? Was it A, J Jonas? Who is he? I don't know. The fourth Jonas brother. Was it A, Joe Jonas, B, Wiz Khalifa, C, Mark Ronson, or D, Harry Styles? Did we see that one of the Jonas brothers, I can't remember which one, could have been Joe, and Sansa Stark had a baby this week? And I'm like, I didn't even know she was pregnant. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. So crazy. Oh, wow. Shani, I'm so impressed that you saw me finish my drink. That's very snappy of you. I do want a drink, but Jimmy gave me his mobile number so I can text him when I want one, which is super efficient. So I might just text him right now whilst we move on to question 14. In the Workaholics first season episode, Straight Up Juggahos, Adam, Blake, and Anders make an online dating profile for Jillian. What is the first thing they put in the interest section? Is it A, spelunking, B, Gerard Butler, C, clowns, or D, Bradley Cooper? Oh, I will send Jimmy a meme. What should we send him? Something really strange. Should I send him a good morning meme? Just because that makes no sense at all. All right. Yes, Scott, I will text him for you as well. And Stupid Sexy Goldblum would like a schooner dram brewery. Great. Just post your address. We'll get that to you in the next week. Let's move on. I am assuming that we have enough Workaholics fans across our groups that you should be good with this. Question 15 is an audio question. Haven't had an 8-bit song in a while, so do tell me the song title and the artist behind this song that has been put into an 8-bit version of itself. Here we go. Beautiful. I'm going to play it again, possibly for the last time, unless you tell me otherwise. Should I play it again? There seems to be general positivity. Maybe we're all good. Gary's team has 6 out of 9. Culture Vultures 4 out of 4. We love it. Thank you for the compliment, Guns and Design. I love you too, even though that's not what you said. Let's play it one more time, just for fun, because everyone seems to be into it. To be honest, most songs are better if you make them 8-bit. Okay. Let's move on. I think I just played that again, but I looked down whilst it was playing, and by the time I looked up, it was done, and so I don't really know if it actually happened. So, move on, we'll see. Also, thank you to someone who's already sent in their first poem. Amazing work. So quick. There once was a Melbourneite Karen. With her germs, she decided to share 'em. She spread it around, and like the Spice Girls sound, Victoria's efforts were barren. Really good. That was a bit cheeky, sharing that early, but I wanted to. Question 16, and thank you to the person who requested How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, because quite frankly, we just don't have rom-coms requested enough. What is the name of the magazine Kate Hudson's character Andy works at in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? It's like I spiritually knew that Shani was the mod tonight. I'm so glad I put these questions in. I might leave this. I'll leave it for a couple more seconds. Tell you what, Jimmy is not responding to my meme about alcohol. Let's be more explicit. Could I trouble you for a tropical goza? Oh, I mean, only if you want to. I don't want them to feel stressed if they're busy up there. Excellent. Looks like a lot of teams are doing better than they did last week. Last week was a bit tricky. Let's move on. Question 17. These tokens, rather, with an S, belong to which board game? They belong to which board game? Have people made their own playlists? Are you listening to things in the background? If so, what? Oh, that is good. I wonder what Jimmy would come back with if I asked for a single plum floating in perfume served in a man's hat. I wonder if he would pass the test. Are we good here? I might move us on unless you tell me otherwise. Oh, there we are. Oh, sorry. Okay, so don't get mad. This could be seen as a subjective question, but I don't really think so because these dogs have absolute celebrity doppelgangers. So, you let me know for 4 points which male celebrity these dogs are the doppelgangers of, which is an awkward way to say, tell me which celebrities these dogs look like. I've let you know that they are males, so no female celebrities here, or non-binary celebrities, all males. All dudes. All duty dudes. D is a cat, yes, but I don't think I said dog. Just animal. Guys, I didn't say dog. I said identify the male celebrity from their animal doppelganger. What I say with my words doesn't count. And Gary's right. All cats are dogs. Did anybody, when they were young, think that cats were female dogs or dogs were male cats? How are we going? Have we got these? Have we felt out a couple? How are we doing? B, I admit, is tough. B is the toughest because it really just is out there looking like a golden retriever. But I swear to the powers that be that as soon as you see who it is, you'll be like, oh my God, of course. Think we got it. B is a good boy. All dogs are boys, all cats are girls. All right, I'm going to hold it up for a couple more seconds and then we'll move on. All right. Take a screenshot if you want to. Here we move on. Here we go. Lucifer, I know we have some fans. In Lucifer himself has the voice of an angel, which is ironic because he is a demon, and he sings a lot. Which song hasn't he covered? So which of these songs has he not sung on the show? Is it A, Eternal Flame by the Bangles, B, I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor, C, Cinnamon by Nina Simone, or D, It's Raining Men, the Weather Girls? To our Lucifer fans, A, B, C, D. A, B, something, D. I've forgotten what 20 is. That's exciting. But I'm going to move on. Oh, that's right. Somebody requested another Rotten Tomatoes feature. So this week it is Will Smith films. I want you to match the Will Smith film with its Rotten Tomatoes ranking. So, on the left, we have the films A, Bad Boys for Life, B, 6 Degrees of Separation, C, I, Robot, D, Aladdin. On the right, we've got our Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter scores. We've got a 71%, a 56%, a 57%, and an 88%. Do match the scores with the films. I will give you a point per correctly matched film. 4 points in total possible. This is, of course, the last question for round one, which I will hold on for a few more seconds, but it does mean that we are about to expose our first Nicolas Cage clue. Now, in case you are new, and I'm sure you aren't, so I'm sorry that I have to say this again, but there is something hiding up in the Nicolas Cage cage, which is hanging above me. I'm going to give you 2 clues. You can guess it after each clue. The earlier you get it, the more points you can add to your team score. Of course, individuals can play. If you Instagram me the answer, the first person to get it to me will win a pin for themselves. So I'll hold on old Willie Smith for 30 more seconds, and then we will do our first Nicolas Cage clue. This is a very fast 30 seconds, but that's how it is when you include human error. So someone just asked, are these critic scores or user scores? So it's the tomato meter that's like the aggregate score, I believe. I can double check it though. It's definitely not the critic score, I'll tell you that much. It's not the critic score. Because when you go into Rotten Tomatoes, there are 2 scores normally. There's so it's the tomato meter, which I believe takes into account the critics and the audience score. So it's kind of like the official score. The audience score is always a bit higher. This is the score that's balanced out with the critics as well. And that's how it is. Alrighty, my 30 seconds is up. So you can screenshot this if you need. I'm going to move on to our first clue for Nicolas Cage. Get your phones out if you want to try and gram it to me the fastest. That's the handle to send me a message. This week it is a character. It's a character that I want. I won't tell you where the character is from, whether it's a film or a TV show or a game or whatever. You just know it's a character. Clues can be abstract or literal, depending on what's up this week. Important, as always, to remember that it doesn't have to be Nicolas Cage related, and it often isn't. Here is our first clue. The first person to text me, again, this is a clue. It's a clue. If you want to have a crack at a character, and I do want the full character's name, I will potentially award you with a pin if you're the first one to get the right answer to me. We'll have this up, even though I've made it all about the individual. It is, of course, primarily important to the collective team, because if whatever your team chooses this round to guess, that is your chance at the 5 points that you can win if you guess the Nicolas Cage clue first. So, well, not first, but in the first round of clues. So, make sure you lock in whatever your answer is for round 1. Just be honest, because that's the only currency we deal in on Twitch Trivia. And then if you guessed it right, you can have 5 points to add to your team at the end. Of course, if you get it right at the end of the second round, you can add 3 points, which is still pretty good. All right, scribes, if you will, prepare your pens and papers and answer sheets. We are about to do answers for round 1. So gird your loins and get ready for it. Let's do 20 seconds. People are still guessing. A fast 20 seconds again. Okay, here we go. Here are our answers for round 1. Question 1. Like Peter losing Wendy is the line. I'll give 1 point to Peter Pan, 1 point to Wendy. An easy 2 points if you knew it was Peter Pan related. Peter Pan and Wendy, well done. If you said Wendy Darling, obviously that's dope. But if you just said Peter and Wendy, also fine. Sorry, Apoko Trout, you missed it, but the Cage question was, I want a character for the Cage, not a film or a TV show. I want a character, but I haven't told you what kind of character, so you don't know whether it's a film character or a TV show character. Okay. Moving on. Question 2. It is, of course, Tracer or Lena from Overwatch. You can get a point for Lena, Oxton, or Tracer. If you just said Overwatch but couldn't remember their name, then you can have a half point. Question 3, it's the Pacific Crest Trail. Reese Witherspoon hiked a part of the Pacific Crest Trail, which is the giant, like, a billion-month-long trail in the States. Question 4, A was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. B was the Hunger Games, which I think was the hardest, so well done if you got that. C was Alice in Wonderland. Of course, that was Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And D was their blue cat stand-in for the tiger in The Life of Pi. So 4 points for those 4 films. Very nice if you got them all. Here we go for our TikTok. We had Dwayne Johnson. We had Gary from SpongeBob SquarePants. We had Timothée Chalamet and John Mulaney. Good job if you got Timothée Chalamet, because I think that was pretty tricky. I'll hold it for a second. Timothée Chalamet. Some people think he's a bae. And to that I say, you're right. Question 6.
Everybody needs...
Are we all missing the Spotify playlist yet? Warhammer 40k. It's B. Abaddon, the Despoiler. Or B. Question 7. This hopefully won't be too controversial, but it is Jonesy from Alien. I needed Jonesy for the full point. If you just said Alien, I'll give you a half point. Jonesy, Alien. I think Jack is asking, can we get a halfie for just Planet of the Apes? Yes. Take a half point if you got Planet of the Apes. If you didn't get Rise of, that's fine. I did think that Mr. Bigglesworth and Thackeray Binks would be up there, and to be honest, Bigglesworth and Thackeray were, and were definitely in like the top 3, but I just think Jonesy is like the cat that people reference first. I think Jonesy is bigger than them. But hopefully somebody got that right. I think a few people did. All right, moving on. Question 8, it's the Cold War. The Americans are set in the Cold War, and they are spies. Not to spoil it, but there you go. Question 9, for 5 points. Number 1 is a WoW character. So is number 2. The Laiva is I think it is a bookshelf. I looked it up. I think it's a bookshelf. Number 4 is a WoW character. And 5, the Brims, is a bed frame from IKEA. So that's 5 points. 5-5-y. Crazy 5 times. That's true. Question 10 is true. You can have a romantic relationship with Liara as either female shepherd or male shepherd. Oh no, my Kevin Bacon's, which we didn't end up doing because Ben's not here. Question 11, Jessica Jones. Hopefully you recognize the purple man. Deadwater Fell. That was a bit trickier because that was a new release from 2020. And C is, of course, Broadchurch. 3 points for Jessica Jones, Deadwater Fell, and Broadchurch. Deadwater Fell is... Oh, someone said Deadfell. Oh, yes, I think you can definitely have a... Deadfell is like one word off. I think you can have a half a point for that. I almost want to give you a full point. Let's go half. No, you know what? It's Wednesday and I'm tired. You can have a full point to Boyd. 712. Happens as a warm card. I said Whitechapel. I'm impressed, as always, with your mental acumen, but you do not get any points for that. Question 12. It was D. Coward. Minori is a great character. Not character, she's a real person, but she is a great character from Terrace House, and she wrote Coward on Uchi's Omu Rice. Question 13. It was Harry Styles. The person featured, who is excellent, is Jack Antonoff, but... the person I wanted was Harry Styles. Question 14. Gerard Butler is the answer to our Workaholics question. I hope our Workaholics fan got that one. Question 15. It's Talk Dirty. Jason Derulo, Feet 2 Chains. If you just said Jason Derulo, then that is fine. I will give you a point for just Jason Derulo. You didn't need to say Feet 2 Chains, even though we acknowledge his creative input. Question 16, Composure. Auntie works at Composure. Well done if you got that one. That's tricky. Question 17, Gloomhaven was our game. Question 18, here we go. A, John Travolta. Look at that likeness. B, it was Harrison Ford. Can't you see it now? Oh, thank you. No, you're so fine. Thank you so much for that. Oh, that's a good goalser. How crazy accurate is B, Harrison Ford? C, obviously Snoop Dogg, and D is Adam Driver. Wow. People got 4 out of 4. I'm so impressed. I have to say, Okie Doka, number 1, John Cena. That is brilliant. I totally see John in that. That's really, really good. But John Travolta is the answer we wanted. I'm very impressed that so many got 4 out of 4, though. Maybe we should bring this feature back more regularly. Question 19. It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls has never appeared in the show Lucifer. And question 20. It's A1, B4, C2, D3. So Bad Boys for Life is 71%. 6 Degrees of Separation is the best, 88%. iRobot is 56%, and Aladdin is 57%. So not a lot of love for iRobot. Oh, nice. Jack said Gary Busey and Matthew McConaughey. That's a good guess for the dog one. A Poco Trout has a hot tip. Have you heard the noises that Adam Driver's cats make? Treat yourself, if not, honk, honk, honk. Interesting. That's very intriguing. Okay, add up your points for round 1. That brings us to a close for round 1. Round 2 will start in about 7 minutes. I'm going to pop on my little Be Right Back screen so I can finally release the Wii. Do, as always, add up your points. Post them in the chat, not in the Google form just yet. Just post them in the chat so we can all see, how we're doing, who's winning, who we got to beat. And we'll be back in 7 minutes. Be merry. Just to keep everyone on their toes, I have brought us back 20 seconds early. Let's go and have a look at some scores. We have Beyonce Knowles, 21. Nice. Henry Cavill's Ass, 24. We have 21.5 from username Woollycats. 14 for the bitches. I love the bitches so much. I can't wait to see you in person playing. Team 4th place, 20. Everyone's doing pretty well. Hidden Ham, a whopping 36 points. Vin Diesel's got 31. Vultures, pretty high again as well, 27.5. Super Nintendo, nice, 28. Always high supers. Super Sexy Goldblum, 36. Or maybe they were commenting on the Hidden Ham one. I think Hidden Ham has won the round, which is exciting. I think that's the first time Hidden Ham has won a round. But tell me if I'm wrong. And yes, I would also love to hear the origin of the Hidden Ham name. I've been wondering for a while. Let's move on to round 2, I think. What do we got? What do we got in store? Oh, God bless the person who requested fonts. I can see how it is tenuously connected to pop culture. Not even tenuously. It's got a solid umbilical cord, I think. So please identify this font, which you do need to see the screen for. Is it A, Connection, B, Open Baskerville, C, Old Standard, or D, Poppins? Casey Dub 84, what is the comic poem theme this week? Great question for those who might have missed it at the start. We are doing either the Karens in Bunnings, but you can extend that to broad Karens, or you can do the COVID returning to Queensland and whatever angle you would like. And again, you can enter both a poem or a comic. The comic is the only one that you can win the $30, the $30 voucher with, but a pin for a poem is not a bad deal. I have one comic already from the excellent Caitlin, who always gets their inspiration very fast and nails it. And I have the poem already that I read to you from Fred, which was delightful. Just checking now if I have any others. But you do have until the end of this round to get them to me, so that's fine. All right. Choose a font, A, B, C, or D. I'm about to move on. Question 22. The below is a synopsis for which cursed show. Host X or blank, I didn't want to say their name in case it was a giveaway, asks his celebrity guests questions while they attempt to eat rounds of increasingly spicy chicken wings. Is that a show you watch? I don't know. I hope so, because you do need to tell me what the name of it is. Happiness is a warm gun. Why is it cursed? It's not necessarily cursed. I just both, like, I have a love-hate relationship with gimmicky show ideas. Like, I do love them, but every time I end up watching them, I get off it after 2 episodes. Okay, I love the idea from Herbert_Powell about just co-opting the idea from the show and doing it in your own personal circles. That I would be here for. And you know what? Maybe I haven't seen the best episodes of this show. Maybe I haven't. Alright, let's move on. Question 23. Take That. Remember Take That? Seminal band from the 90s. They released their first album in 1992. Shout out to the Year of the Monkeys. Or, yeah, I think that's what I am. Year of the Monkeys. What was its title? Was it A, Take This? B, Take Those? C, Take It Back? Or D, Take That and Party? You're not wrong, Shani. They are all terrible options. It's truly scandalous to know that one of them is the real option. One of them is real. Alright, pick one, any one. I'm going to move us on. Question 24. I know that we have some Wheel of Time fans. In the Wheel of Time book series, which character calls themselves Dragon Reborn? Is it A, Min Farshaw, B, Tom Marilyn, C, Randall Thor, or D, Perrin Ibera? It is a bold choice to adopt this title. I think Kat's right. You really have to be given a title as audacious as Dragon Reborn. It's not a person you want to party with. Need to find some sycophants. Let's move on. Ooh, okay, so this is one that I wrote and was like, oh, this will be cool. And then I wrote it and was like, I don't know if this is really hard or not. But I do know that we have some Pokemon diehards out there. So I have made you a mashup of Pokemon cries or sounds. I would like you to identify the 4 Pokemons based on their cries. Now, I do cross generations with this. They're not all Gen 1, I will say, which makes it a little bit trickier. So enjoy. I will play it a few times, and I'm sorry if this is a depressing question for you. At the very least, guess 4 Pokemons. Don't leave it blank. Here we go. you do, if some Pokemons, if you can prove to me that the Pokemon that you've said does that cry, because a few of them have identical cries, then I will give you the point. However, these cries that I have sampled are from particular Pokemons I would like the answer to. However, as I said, if you can prove there's another Pokemon that makes a cry, by all means go for it. I know I've made it a bit tricky by crossing generations, but I also know that Pokemon fans know their shit. So let's challenge ourselves. I think you can be proud of yourself if you get one of these. You know what? You can be proud just for trying. I did go quite hard because I had requests for a hard Pokemon question. Has anyone got one? Anyone got a little one? A 1 point for the board. Nice. Beyonce Knowles has 1. Whoa, Vinny D has 3. It is a fair point that you're hearing them through slightly more refined speakers. Alright, Rapture 182 has 2. The Guinness guy, unsure, but as long as you've made some guesses. It is a tricky question. This is a leveling up hard Pokemon question, so don't feel too badly. If you're into the format of sounds, I can always make up a slightly easier sound. Do Gen 1, go with some classics, or I could just avoid Pokemon cries altogether. I'll play it 2 more times. Alright, here it comes again for the last time. Okay, it's time to move on. This summer, what will happen? And nobody knows. This is exciting. We have somebody has sent me a comic who has also sent me a poem. That's what I like to see, just making sure you're across all fields. Moving on to question 26. Which YouTuber, we don't ask about YouTubers very often, which YouTuber also goes by the web name The Nostalgia Chick? Tricky unless you're deep in YouTube, but I will say that they're a very famous, they're like an early days YouTuber. Oh yay, we have some watchers of The Nostalgia Chick, I'm glad. Also, guys, I just wanted to share my journey with you about Gerald of Trivia, except not that, because that's the trivia game, but Geralt from The Witcher, and how Geralt started the whole hard G Hofc? Whoa. Hard G, soft G. I finally watched like a cutscene, so I haven't played The Witcher myself, and I see what you're saying. A character did call him Geralt. And so I understand now. I understand I was wrong. And I understand that it's Geralt, even though I think that's stupid. Let's move on. Question 27. In Monopoly, what other red property would you need to acquire in order to build houses and hotels? I have given you Fleet Street and Trafalgar Square. What is the third red property in this obvious British version of Monopoly, which I think a lot of Australians grew up with? Grace, I could not agree with you more. If Catherine O'Hara doesn't win Best Actress in her Emmy category, we will all riot. But there's just no way she won't. There is no way she will not win that. No way. It's not going to happen. And it's interesting you bring up the Emmys because we do have an Emmys question coming up in the next few slides. Do let me know. My accent's not very London, even though this is a bit of a London question. I don't know how to do a London accent. Oh, I'm London. In Monopoly. What other... No, I can't do it. Not going to do it. Who remembers the third street, guys? Who remembers? Thank you, Stupid Sexy Goldblum, for acknowledging my personal growth with Geralt. Nice. Okay, we've got a few teams. Excellent. Question 28. Oh, wow, thank you. Excuse me whilst I eat the occasional chip. We had a HB fan request a hard book question. Here we go. I hope they're playing. What was the code name that Fred Weasley was misidentified as on the pirate radio station Potterwatch in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? Is it A, rodent? Sorry. Is it A, rat, B, rodent, C, rapier, or D, rattlesnake? Can I test? I'm going to eat this chip at a normal volume, and you tell me if you can hear the chip that I'm eating. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of the chip could you hear me chewing? Because I'll chew really slowly and quietly if you could hear it. Oh, nice. No one can hear me eat. Maybe I can eat chips whilst I do this. Alright, there's a slight crunch coming through for the ASMR fans. Where are my Harry Potter fans at? Do we know this? Do we remember this bit of the book? I actually do have sauce. It's just a beige color that blends in perfectly with the chip. It's Netherworld spicy aioli. Alright. Team Russell Crowe is telling me that this is an easy question. Alright. I did make it multiple choice to not be cruel. Alright, here we go. Question 29 for 2 points. Identify the two celebrities in this face mashup. 2 points. If you're just tuning in, I'm sad you missed our dog and cat celebrity doppelganger question. But I feel good about this feature. I feel like it's going to come back next week. And I'm so impressed with John Cena. Two points for this one. 1 point per celebrity. We're doing pretty good. 7:55. Ran a bit over time last week. Oh no, Casey Dub 84 has missed 4 questions. I can go back to the last 4, Casey Dub. I'll just hold on them really quickly. So just maybe take a screenshot. I probably won't play the Pokemon again. Sorry. That's 26. YouTuber. 27. Monopoly. 28. A HP question. And that's where we're at, 29. If you still need those again, just let me know at the end of the round and we can flick back. Moving on to question 30. Vanessa Kensington was originally whose sidekick? I put sidekick in quotation marks because she's a little bit more than a sidekick. Okay. I don't think you need too much time for question 30. But I'll give you a wee bit more time. Just a splash. Alright, question 31. Which Netflix character would you be cosplaying if you were wearing this shirt? I know you know the answer to this, but in case you don't, if you wonder how and why people request themes for me to write questions, I will tell you. They write it in the Google form, which is linked in the panels below when they submit their final scores to me. Please do, because it ensures that you know that there'll be a question in there for next week for you. Alrighty. Question 32. I'm excited about. What was the last musical to win the Best Picture Oscar? Even though I have featured Cats in the slide, it is not Cats. Hashtag release the butthole cut. Oh yay, we just got another poem come in. Thank you. Reminder that we have maybe 20 or so more minutes before the time is up to get me comics and get me poems. Who thinks they've got 32? The last musical to win the Best Picture Oscar. Nice. Guns and Genius. All over it. Question. I went looking for I May Destroy You the other day because I really want to watch it and couldn't find it because I don't think it's released in Australia yet. Has anyone seen it because they have a VPN? Or if you have acquired it, how have you done that? I would like to pay for it to be supportive, but I assume I can't access it now if I want to be moral. And in the meantime, let's move on to question 33. Finish the movie quote, and if you don't know the end of the quote, just take a guess what movie it's from and I'll give you a half point. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are... beep, 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 beep. Those beeps correspond with the amount of words that I want filled in. So, in case you don't recognize this quote, iconic though it is, the little dashes do correspond with the amount of words I want. And I'm giving you a half point if you can guess the movie. I'm curious about this one. Tell me when you got it. Ooh, all over it. Guinness Guy, Beyonce Knowles. Very nice. I don't know what team Katami_oof13 is from, but I'd like to know. Moving on, question 34. In The Haunting of Hill House, what is the family name of the caretakers of Hill House? Is it A, the Derwents, B, the Dudleys, C, the Dreesleys, or D, the Diddleys? The Derwents, the Dudleys, the Dreesleys, or the Diddleys? My delicious chips are so distracting. A, B, C, or D? Moving on. It was always going to be there. The 2020 Emmy nominations were just announced. Which two shows are missing from the list of outstanding limited series nominees? For some reason, I accidentally dyed that bit purple. But as far as typos go, I'm doing pretty good tonight. So here is the list of nominees for Outstanding Limited Series in the 2020 Emmys. I've taken two out. I would like you to fill them in. I'll give you a point per show, per limited series. The ones I've given you are Mrs. America, Unbelievable, and Unorthodox. Ooh, we've got more comics coming in, which I love to see. I love it. I do. Happiness is a Warm Gun is not happy with the status of TV. Do you mean there's too much TV in this trivia tonight? Because I am but a mirror that reflects the desires of what you guys want. If you would like more movies, request them for next week. Okay, you mean in the world in general? Yes, you're right. It is very stressful. And to be honest, scandalously, I hadn't even heard of Mrs. America until I wrote this question. Let's Google it right now and see what it is. Mrs. America. Mrs. America is loosely based on and dramatizes the story of the movement to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment and unexpected backlash led by conservative activist Phyllis Schlafly, played by Blanchett. Oh, as in the Blanchett? Wow, it's Kate Blanchett. I feel bad that I didn't know about that. Moving on. Are we ready for question 36? Ooh, Stupid Sexy Goldblum has recommended The Boys, which I have not watched. There we go, everyone. If we haven't watched The Boys, watch it immediately. Question 36. A 4-pointer. Concerning my favourite Alanis Morissette. I've asked a question about the other one with the hand in her pocket, which is called something about pockets of, I'm blanking, Brad Pitt. One hand in my pocket and the other one's smoking a cigarette. Oh my god, I cannot believe I've forgotten the name of that song. Either way, it's not relevant. This is about the other Alanis Morissette song. Put the lyrics in the order they appear in Alanis Morissette's Ironic. Order the letters 1 to 4. 1 being the line that appears first in the song, 4 being the line that appears last. It's called Hand in My Pocket. Thank you, Grace. Should have got that. So our lines, we have A, it's meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And I don't remember how that last line goes. And no smoking sign on your cigarette break. She is down and out. Somebody get Alanis Morissette a bubble tea. Let's rank these in order, the order that they appear. Happiness is a warm gun is right. There are some liberal uses of irony in this song. But I hope you're all enjoying singing it to yourself right now. Okay, I might move this on. Take a screenshot if you haven't finished. Question 37. I got a request for another Twilight question, but to make it harder this time. So I'm sorry the other one was so easy. Also, speaking of Twilight, I've since learnt, somewhat ignorantly, I didn't know this, that Midnight Sun book that everyone's been talking about for years is coming out in like 2 weeks or something. Which is the Stephenie Meyer book where she's just writing the whole Twilight saga, but from Edward's perspective. Which honestly is just amazing. Like, what a 2020 move to do that. I'm very curious. I'll probably read it. Here is your Twilight question. Which food makes Bella sick, which leads to her realizing that she's pregnant? Is it A, chicken, B, scrambled eggs, C, hot dog, or D, cheesecake? Ooh, a Poco Trout has just mentioned something in the chat. I think I remember Stephanie Meyer releasing, they flopped the genders. Can genders be flopped? Probably. They swapped genders. I do remember that happening and nobody taking any notice of it. But I think Midnight Sun is a different thing. Hang on, what did you say? Like, this isn't the Edward perspective one. This is a whole other thing where Edward is a woman and Bella is a man, along with the whole rest of the cast. I mean, as far as setting yourself up for life, it's a genius move. She can just, stay in her mansion, which is like a sort of deserty mansion. I Googled it on Google Earth once. And just, rewrite the same material, and doesn't even have to be good writing. People will just buy that shit, and it's going to be... And she's sorted herself out. 100%. Alright, I'm moving on. Hopefully you know what Bella ate. James Bond. Nice and easy. But I got hate mail about questions being too hard. At the end of the James Bond film Skyfall, who replaced Judi Dench as the new M? I'm glad somebody else respects the Stephanie Meyer hustle, even if they don't respect her. I would like to know a real person's name, actor or actress, for this. Obviously, because I've given you the character name. Oh my god, we're only 2 questions from the end. How sad. Oh, and we've got another great poem that's just come through. A long one, too. Gary, trick question. James Bond film ended with Casino Royale. That is a fair comment, although I have a soft spot for even the cheesy Daniel Craigs. I did want to do Subjective 7 Best Bond film, but I actually thought the house would burn down, so I didn't. Moving on to question 39. In Gilmore Girls, thank you to the Gilmore Girls requests, when Logan met Rory, what was his nickname for her? Was it A, Kid, B, Kit, C, Ace, or D, Judy, or sometimes Judy Garland? Oh my goodness. You can't know how thrilled I am that there are other Logan fans out there, because I get absolutely dragged across the coals for being a Logan supporter. To be honest, they're actually all douchebags, but at least Logan's upfront about it. Jess is absolutely a low-key gaslighter, and the other one's just lame. Logan's yes, I'm arrogant, but I know it. You know where I stand. Also, I have a really cute little smile, and I'm rich as fuck. Oh, sorry, spoiler alerts. I will not tell you anything more about this. I'm glad Scott agrees he is the best of the bad options. But honestly, gaslighting is just the worst, and Jess is just all over that. I'm not into the broody emotional gaslighters. Good day to you, sir. It's true, Paris is a superior option to all of them. But this is just the ranking of the wiener boys. Scott, say it louder. We can't hear you in Australia. I agree about Jess. Just because it's cute. And quite frankly, is he the cutest? I don't know. The cutest is Rory. Actually, you know who is the actual cutest of the whole series? Lane. Lane is the hottest character. I'm going to move us on to our last question. If we're ready, because I recently got into astrology, identify the star sign from the celebrities featured on this star sign merch shirt. So this basically needs you to know when these celebrities were born. If you're good with celebrity birth months, you'll be all over it. Otherwise, just guess a star sign and we'll call it a day. But not until we do our second Nicolas Cage clue. So, in case this question isn't clear, and I really don't blame you if it's not clear, I just want you to guess a star sign. All of the celebrities on the shirt are that star sign. Hence, it's a star sign merch shirt. Do guess the star sign based on the shirt. And everyone, if you haven't got into your own star signs memes, truly, you do not have to believe in astrology to love it. It's great. If we're ready, I am going to lay on you the next Nicolas Cage clue. Again, you'll make a guess at the end of this clue, but you have to decide as a team which answer you're going to lock down. So you have to choose, will we definitely go with our round 1 answer or our round 2 answer? If you had managed to guess it right after the first round, you can add 5. If you don't get it right until this clue, add 3. Obviously, you won't know that you've got it right until I reveal the answer to you. And of course, the individual prize is still up for grabs, so you can insta me your private answer. Good, we've got in some more comics this week. Sorry, I'm just distracted getting my... a poem. A couple of people have sent in poems and comics, which is so fun. All right, here we go. Here is our second clue. Again, it's a character, not a film or a TV show. We want a character. And a full name if we can. Here is our next clue, baby. Jazzpaz has just asked whether I'm talking about new star signs or old star signs. They have changed. Everyone is different. To be honest, I can't answer that because I don't know enough about star signs to know what you're talking about. I'm very new to star signs. But that's crazy if they've all changed. I'll hold on this one for 30 seconds and then we're going to go through the answers. Oh my God. I love someone so much for the thing that they just guessed, which wasn't correct, but I love you so much for just what you just guessed. That's all I'm gonna say. Nice. Very good. All right. I'm gonna go through the answers now, so lock in with your team what your Nicolas Cage guess is. All right, here we go, baby. Here are our answers for round 2. Fairy Tales, the word on the screen was in Open Baskerville. That was the font, or B. Question 22, The Hot Ones, or just Hot Ones, is the name of the show. Question 23, Take That and Party was the name of the Take That's first album. I see that Chucky Newts just said in the chat that this week was the first Cage that was stumped. Impressive that this is only the first time you've been stumped. But yes, I think a few people are stumped with this one. Question 24. It was C. Randall Thor, bigger than his boots, very into themselves, obviously, dubbing themselves the Dragon Reborn. Question 25. Venusaur, Cloyster, Whalmer, and Sork. Sork? Again, if you got one, well done. It's a hard question. This was harder. I will do Pokemon Cries again, but I'll make them a bit easier. Don't feel discouraged if you got 0 out of 4. I imagine most people got 0 out of 4. As Ben was leaving the venue tonight, I was like, I've got this Pokemon question, and I don't know if it's impossible to answer. Ooh, apparently Sork is supposed to be pronounced sock. So thank you for that, Apoco Trout. Sock. You're right. It's sock with an American accent. What a great amendment there. Whoa, Chucky got 3 out of 4. That is incredible. That's amazing. Again, I promise to do Pokemon Cries again, but I'm going to try and make it easier if I can. 26, it's Lindsay Ellis. The nostalgia chick is Lindsay Ellis. She does amazing video essays, and I would definitely recommend them. She's very smart. 27, Strand. Strand is what was missing from the Reds. Question 28, it was B. Rodent. His name that he chose was Rapier, but then Lee Jordan misidentified him as a rodent. Very cheeky. Question 29, it was The Shack, Shaquille O'Neal, and 50 Cent. 2 points. 2 points. 1 point for Shaquille O'Neal, 1 point for 50 Cent. Question 30, Austin Powers. It was Liz Hurley's character from Austin Powers. 31, of course, was Barbara Holland. We haven't thought about Barb in a while. Or maybe you have. I haven't. I'm pretty fine if you just said Barb from Stranger Things. I didn't really need Holland. I just put that in there in case you wanted to know. Chicago, Mr. Cellophane, that should have been my name. I can walk right through me, be something. I think that's how it goes. Question 33. A very particular set of skills. We needed a very particular set of skills for the full point. If you got almost all of those words but maybe missed one out, I'll still give you a full point. But if you got most of them wrong, half a point. If you said taken but didn't know the words, you could have a half point for taken as well. Great La La Land joke, Gary. I was waiting for someone to make that, and I'm so glad you didn't disappoint me. Question 34. It was the Dudleys. Question 35 for 2 points, and very well done if you got this, because this Emmy nom news is new. It's very new. Watchmen, of course, an obvious one. Hopefully you all got that one. Watchmen is on there. And Little Fires Everywhere, that new short-run series with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. 2 points. 1 for Little Fires Everywhere, 1 for Watchmen. Okay, question 36 for 4 points. 1C, 2B, 3D, 4A. So it's Death Row Pardon, 2 minutes too late. That's in the first verse. It's like Rain on Your Wedding Day. Obviously, that's in all the choruses, but that's number 2. Then we went to A No Smoking Sign on Your Cigarette Break. And it's like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife and realizing she was hotter and going for her instead. Question 37. It was chicken. A simple chicken. Maybe you should have been Veggie Bella after all. Oh, very nice. We have a couple of people who are 4 out of 4 for the Alanis question. I'm glad you love Alanis as much as me. Speaking of, actually, That's a really long segue. We'll get into that another time. Rafe Fiennes is the answer to 38. Well done if you got it. Oh my goodness. Wait, sorry, have to interrupt. A Poco Trout always comes in with the best anecdotes and has not failed us tonight. Apparently Alanis sings and meeting his beautiful husband at queer events. Alanis, I know there was a reason I've loved you for so long. Good job. Question 39, it's Ace. Logan calls Rory Ace. Question 40 is Capricorn. Dolly, Michelle, the Veronicas, and I have to admit I don't recognize the fourth person, and I'm really sorry, but they're all Capricorns. Okay, so Nicolas Cage was a bit difficult. The first clue was a pop doll of Xander Harris from Buffy. But Xander Harris wasn't the answer because it was just a clue. It was a clue to the answer. Then I gave you a picture of a willow tree. So we're in a Buffy space. The answer that I wanted was Buffy Summers, who would complete the trio of the high school Scooby Gang high schoolers, I should say. The answer was Buffy Summers. Not many people got there, to be honest. I think only 2 people got there, which is crazy. Well, not crazy, but because everyone did guess Buffy-related things, but not a lot of people guessed Buffy as the character. However, the one person who did get it in round 1 was... Let me get up my little screenshot. I believe it was Zoe. I just need to check. Zoe Jeffrey, well done. You were the first to get me Buffy Summers. So I will get in contact and get your address, and we will send you a Netherworld pin, which is exciting because it's the only way you can normally acquire those pins is if you win trivia. Well done. Obviously, you all know what to do by now. Add up all your scores. That's the end of round 2 and the night. Do submit your scores to the Google form. I can't put you in the leaderboard unless you do it in the Google form. Also, that is where you request themes for next week. Just give me a hot second. I need to quickly read the poems and look at the comics. And in a minute, I will announce the winner of the poem and the winner of the comic. And we can see who's going to win what. Comics. Oh, it looks like I've still got some comics coming in. I've got to probably call it in terms of entries as of now. Don't forget to submit your scores on the Google form. I will post all of the scores up on Facebook in like 25 minutes, half an hour, as soon as I've tabulated them all. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Back to the comics. Ooh, that's a good one. I love everyone's self-deprecating qualifiers at the beginning of their poems. Poem that I know is horrible and won't get traction. All right. Oh, this is hard. There are some good things coming out of you guys tonight. Okay. I have made a decision. Let's start with, bye, Scott. You're going to miss a great poem. No, you shouldn't leave just yet. Let's start with the winning poem for the night, which has come to us from Brooke. Well done, Brooke. I will contact you and send you out a pin. Here is our winning poem. Oh, dear this week's Bunnings Karen, we hear your tale of woe. To make an outlandish social media point, to the hardware store we did go. Armed with camera phone, filming, and your shopping list utterly bare. Prepared to verbally fight the manager with volume in voice and hair. In their personal bubbles you ranted and raved and preached and yelled. But unfortunately by your unmasked face, this sanctimonious shopper was felled. For news outlets seized your story and ignored selfish points about rights. Now for risking public health and safety, Elizabeth Rose, you'll be known as Karen for life. That's amazing. Brooke, well done. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a pin. I was a bit cheeky and I'm giving a runner-up comic tonight a pin because there were so many great comics. So this is the runner-up that's officially getting sent a pin as well. It's an amazing drawing, which I will put on Facebook if I'm allowed to put up a couple. We have a woman saying to a Bunnings employee, obviously she is unmasked, he is masked. She's saying, you cannot make me wear a mask. And he is saying, and for minimum wage, you can't make me ring up your potting mix, which is amazing. But our winning comic tonight was very simplistic in style, but simple, powerful. I liked it. We had a graphic of like a coronavirus shape, but it's called wearing lipstick, and it's called Karenona, and it's like descending on a couple of people that are called unsuspecting Queenslanders, and it's just very visually engaging. So I'll post both of those comics up, but well done. I think I didn't screenshot the name, but it's signed off Quincy Herb. So send me a message if that's you, otherwise I'll try and find you, and I will send you your $30 venue voucher. To our runner-up, I love that runner-up so much, I will send you a pin. Beautiful talent tonight, everyone. It's been a delight. Thank you, Shani, our wonderful moderator. We'll be back next Wednesday, and with the current news of more COVID in this state, I imagine we'll be here on Twitch a little while longer. So stay safe, and we will see you next Wednesday.